Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Pierce, I'm from BSA Troop 680, and I'm here to talk about the Scout rank, and to give a comprehensive overview of all the requirements and some answers to them. Remember to like and subscribe for more of these videos. Enough chit-chat, let's get right into this. Requirement 1 has 6 parts. Part A revolves around the Scout mantras. These are the Scout Oath, Law, Motto, and Slogan. These things are important because they are often universally repeated by Scouts. First off, the Scout Oath. As we go through, feel free to pause the video and go back for memorization purposes. The oath goes as follows. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Next, we have the Scout law. The law has 12 points. It goes like this. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. The next two are easy. The Scout motto is be prepared, and the Scout slogan is do a good turn daily. In order to complete the requirement, you will need to explain to the person signing off on your completion what each of these sayings means to you. Think beyond the literal definitions of the words and discuss more about the key messages they are trying to say. Next up, we have requirement 1B. This one has to do with Scout spirit. Scout spirit is a matter of attitude, a sort of understanding that the patrol and the troop are there for you as much as you are there for them. As you can probably tell, the definition is subjective and different from person to person. But given your definition of Scout spirit, how is it practiced through the literal and figurative meanings of the oath, law, motto, and slogan? In the end, Scout spirit should be the guiding principles of how a Scout behaves, even outside the view of others, makes decisions, and interacts with others. Think about it as we move forward. Next, 1C. 1C focuses on Scout gestures, namely the handshake, salute, and sign. The Scout sign is done by putting the pointer, middle, and ring fingers of the right hand together, and the thumb covers the fingernail of the pinky finger while raising the arm so that the elbow joint is at a 90-degree angle, like this. The sign is done either in a flag ceremony or to bring attention to an audience. Generally, you will be given a verbal cue to put up the sign, but you should always keep an eye out for one of your leaders or other Scouts if they put up the sign. When they do that, that means you should do so too and be quiet while waiting for instruction. Next on the list is the salute. Scout salute is done by taking the same hand position as Scout's sign, but this time, put it up to your eyebrow, top of your glasses, or brim of your hat. Make sure that your elbow is close to a 45-degree angle from your hand to shoulder, like this. The salute is typically used in formal settings while we wear our Class A uniforms, such as flag ceremonies and when we say the Pledge of Allegiance. Lastly, we have the Scout handshake. The Scout handshake is just like a regular handshake, with one minor difference. Where regular handshakes use the right hand, the Scout shake uses the left. That's because the left hand is closest to the heart. Moving on, Section 1D focuses around the symbolism in the First Class Scout badge. Each of the 6 parts of the badge represents something about the holder of the badge, but instead of explaining it to you, I'm going to quote Bob Cooper, a Cub and Boy Scout leader, for an expert opinion. In a post on Quora, he states, "There is significant symbolism in the first class rank. It is a combination of the tenderfoot and second class ranks, and appears within the star and life ranks as well, superimposed over a star and heart respectively. The 3-point design is like the north point of the old mariner's compass, and stands for the 3 parts of the Scout Oath. Just as that compass points the way at sea, the Scout is able to point the right way in life. The stars are a reminder of the outdoor lifestyle, and represent 2 ideals, truth and knowledge. The eagle with a shield is a symbol of the United States. It stands for freedom and the readiness to defend that freedom. The scroll at the bottom bears the Scout motto, be prepared. The ends of the scroll are turned upwards, like a smile that a Scout should have when following the Scout slogan, do a good turn daily. The knot at the base is our reminder to do a good turn daily. Take these things into consideration. Last for requirement 1, we have section 1F. This one is probably one of the easier requirements, especially if you grew up in the American school system, in which students pledge their allegiance to their country every day since they were 5. However, for those who perhaps forgot the pledge, it goes like this: I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Think about what this pledge means, or first about its root definition. In the Pledge of Allegiance, you pledge, or promise, your allegiance, or loyalty, to the United States of America and its core ideals of liberty, justice, and freedom for all. Now that we have that taken care of, let's move on to Requirement 2. Requirement 2 is more variable than Requirement 1 because its answers can change between troops and patrols. Remember to figure out how these guidelines present themselves in your troops and patrols. First off, 2A asks, how do scouts in a troop provide its leadership? The short answer really comes down to leadership positions and how they're elected. If your troop has a senior patrol leader, for example, assess how they're elected, where they fit into the troop's organization chart, and what their responsibilities are. Along with all the leadership positions, assess how involved the scouts are in the leadership roles. Do the scouts organize everything, or do the adults run the show? These are important questions to ask early for the future. Every troop is different, so I can't give a straight answer here, but these are the sort of things that are imperative to know. It is probably best to have an adult or older scout to explain this to you first. Next up, we have 2B. This one is about how you advance through the ranks of the scouts. It's a 4-step program, you see. Step 1, you learn. This stage consists of you learning the required skill for a requirement to be signed off, whether that is knot tying, cooking, or anything else. Then, in Step 2, you are tested in these skills, either by an adult or an older scout. Thirdly, you are reviewed in a Scoutmaster Conference, Board Review, or both. As you get into the higher ranks, like Star, Life, and Eagle, there is a greater emphasis on merit badges and providing leadership, but the path towards advancement still follows the same pattern. Lastly, you are recognized for your advancement at your troop's court of honor in front of family and friends. These rules apply for everything you can achieve in scouting, from ranks to merit badges and everything in between. Just a note, rank advancement is formally awarded on the date that the scout completes their board review for the rank. The court of honor is just a recognition ceremony, so a scout can earn a rank several months before the actual court of honor. In the next requirement, 2C, these 4 steps are put into practice. The requirement says, describe what the Scout's BSA ranks are and how they are earned. First off, the ranks. The 7 Scout ranks are Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, Life, and Eagle. They are, generally, earned by fulfilling the requirements given in the Scout Manual, and then taking part in a Scoutmaster Conference and a Board Review. The Scout rank is the only rank that does not require a board review, so this can be overlooked for now, but a Scoutmaster Conference is required, which will be discussed in a later section. Last for Requirement 2, we have 2D, which reads, describe what merit badges are and how they are earned. Merit badges are, in essence, a recognition of proficiency in a certain field. There are many merit badges out there, 135 of them in fact. Each merit badge focuses around a certain skill, such as woodworking or swimming. Each also has a set of requirements. To get a merit badge, one must learn about and demonstrate some proficiency in the skill in question. You must contact a merit badge counselor to help you through the merit badge requirements and sign off on it. The counselor must be reasonably confident that you fulfilled the requirements listed, and then they will sign a blue card that you can then turn into your troop's advancement chair for credit. To earn the Eagle rank, Scouts must earn 21 merit badges that also include 13 Eagle required merit badges. Some merit badges can be quite fun, and while you don't need to earn them all, they do give you a chance to experience different skills and topics that might be interesting. Let's move on to Requirement 3. Requirement 3 has 2 parts. 3A goes along the lines of, explain the patrol method. Describe the types of patrols in your troop. The patrol method is simply the idea of splitting a troop up into patrols. There are a few different types of patrols, and troops may have one or many of them. The first is the New Scout Patrol. This type of patrol is made specifically of scouts who just joined the troop. This may be an intermediary or long-term position, but these patrols are at their core made of newer scouts and headed by a scout named the Troop Guide. The next type of patrol is called a regular patrol. In regular patrols, Just about anyone can join, but Scouts, first class and above, typically are admitted first. If the troop doesn't have a new Scout patrol, then regular patrols absorb the newer Scouts instead, and the troop guide moves between patrols. The last patrol is the older Scout patrol, which is, by definition, for older Scouts. This patrol is less common than the others, but does show up from time to time. Think about this for a moment and ask yourself, which of these show up in my troop? How a troop organizes its patrols is a matter of personal preference. For instance, my troop does not have a new Scout or an older Scout patrol. Our patrols are made up of Scouts of all ages, from 11 years old to 17. This is how it's been done in our troop for as long as we can remember, and it seems to work for us. The second part, 3B, revolves around your patrol. Inquire to your patrol leader or troop guide on your patrol's name, emblem, flag, and yell. Obviously, I can't tell you this from behind a screen, so figure this out before moving forward. After you do, ask yourself, how do these things create cohesiveness between patrol members? How does cohesiveness create Scout spirit? Scout spirit being the pride in being a part of one's patrol and troop, and their ability to work with others in that patrol within that troop. With that said, let's proceed to Requirement 4. Requirement 4 centers around 3 basic Scout knots: square knot, the 2 half hitches, and the taut-line hitch. First off, the square knot. Square knot is a basic knot with many uses, from securing ropes together to tying down packages. Works best if the rope is pressed against something else, but it can hold itself together regardless. Let's try and tie it. To do the square knot, first, take the rope you have in your right hand and put it over the rope you have in your left. Take the right rope and loop it under. Then, take the rope that is now in your left hand and put it over the one that is in your right, and loop it through the hole that you have created. You know that you have succeeded if you are able to push the ropes together and have them come apart, like this. Next, the 2 half hitches. This knot is tied to a pole and is used to tie ropes to vertical fixtures like trees, dining supplies, or clotheslines in conjunction with the taut-line hitch. It is tied like this. To start off, you have to take your rope, loop it around the dowel. Now, with your running end, loop it under the fixed end. Then put the running end through this hole you've created. Now, with the running end in hand, make another loop like this by going over the fixed end and loop under and go through that hole. Then pull taut. Now for 4B, we need to go over whipping and fusing rope. Whipping and fusing are 2 techniques to maintain rope and keep it from fraying. To whip a rope, twist the frayed strands together and, using a piece of twine, tie them together. There are a multitude of knots you can use, so pause the video and find one that works for you. Most ropes that we use today do not need to be whipped, but rather it's better to fuse them, so let's jump to that. Fusing rope is much easier. Twist the strands together as you did last time, and light the ends with a lighter so that the strands melt together and fuse. This way, the strands won't separate. Moving on, we need to talk about pocket knife safety. If you already have your tote and chit, then you may as well skip this section and recite what you were told in the tote and chit course to whomever is signing your requirements off. If you haven't taken the course, here are a few things to consider. 1. The blood circle. The blood circle is a method of maintaining proper distance between yourself and others when using knives. To define a blood circle, hold your knife gently by the blade as to not accidentally cut others, and slowly swing your arm around. If there is anything within this circle you don't intend to cut, move away from it before using your knife. The blood circle rules for other tools are different, so make sure you are aware of them to stay safe. Also, as you are using your blade, make sure no one enters your blood circle. For example, if another person looks over your shoulder or stands in front of you to see what you're doing. 2. Never cut towards yourself. To keep yourself safe while using knives, make a point to never cut towards yourself, as one slip can equal one less finger if you're not careful. 3. Use common sense and don't mess around. Situations are always more dangerous when there are sharp tools involved, so as long as knives, saws, or axes are in use, do not horseplay or do anything along those lines. Pocket knives should never be thrown, and they should be used for their intended purpose. For example, don't use the tip of your blade to pry at something, or use a pocket knife blade in a chopping or hacking action, or on something hard like rock. It's likely to get dull quickly or break, not to mention the safety hazard you are creating for yourself. 4. Know the common ills and the proper first aid. Make sure that you know what injuries you may incur when using sharp tools and how to treat them. 5. Keep your knife clean and sharp. Dull and dirty knives are actually a lot more dangerous than clean and sharp ones. Cutting yourself with a rusted, dull blade, for instance, would be a lot worse than cutting yourself with a clean, sharp one because the wound would be more jagged, giving the doctor a harder time to stitch it up, not to mention the nasty tetanus shot you may need. Wash and lubricate them after use and sharpen them if they can't cleanly cut a piece of paper. Anyways, everyone, thanks a ton for watching. Like and subscribe to support the channel for more of these informational videos. Many thanks to the editing team for their fine work. Alright everyone, see you next time.